Hello and welcome to Mama Bon's channel. I'm Leith, and today I'll be narrating this video in English so everyone can understand and watch. Today we'll be making a mini pizza, but there's a little twist on it, and it's gonna be delicious. So, without further ado, let's get right into it, and we'll start it off by the ingredients. So to start it off, you'll need corn flour and potato flour and some gluten-free flour, whatever you have available, but we use Dr. and in a bit we'll show it on the screen. Feel free to pause the video so you can exactly see what flour you use, but it doesn't really matter. So to start it off, you want 2 cups of your gluten-free flour, half a cup of corn flour, half a cup potato flour, and a big spoon of starch. It can be any starch, potato starch, corn starch, rice starch, it doesn't matter. And if you can't acquire potato flour, you can substitute it with a boiled potato. But remember to cool it down before you mash it, otherwise you'll ruin the flour mixture. So keep that in mind, it is very important. And then you want some xanthan gum. The ratio is 1 dessert spoon for every kilo flour. Now, to ensure that the dough becomes soft, you'll need to sift the flour twice. Otherwise, the dough will become rough and no one wants that. And here you can see her sifting the dough for the second time. And then you need some gluten-free yeast. Add a spoon of sugar and some salt. That depends on how much you want. It's up to you. A cup of lactose-free yogurt. 2 tablespoons of vinegar. It can be any kind of vinegar. And then you want to mix it with a mixer. The thing that spins around needs to have a K on it. It looks like a K. And for this step, you can either use water, dairy milk, or plant-based milk. In this video in specific, we're using organic coconut milk. As for the measurement, here we used the whole can of coconut milk and added a bit of water. Now, that all depends on the flour that you have, so add to your liking. Also, really quick, you can see here that she scrapes the dough off the top so it gets to the mixture again, so it gets proper mixed. Now you can see how the dough is supposed to look after you're done mixing it and how the texture is. And then afterwards, we used our hand to mix the dough. And after that, you can cover it with whatever you want. and let it be for 10 to 20 minutes. On we go to the seasoning. We use some oregano, Miriam, some basil, and finally, some black pepper. For the pizza sauce, we're gonna need paprika puree, bell pepper, garlic, onions, and some salt. Now, you can add or remove things as you like. You can add whatever seasoning you want. And here you can see a jar of a bunch of seasoning mixed together. You can also do the same. Feel free to add whatever you like. By now, the dough should be ready, and this is how the dough will look for starters. Now to the last steps. We're gonna add 2 cups of flour, 3 spoons of whole milk powder. In this video, she's using the brand Nido, but you can use whatever you find available. 2 spoons of baking powder and 3/4 cup of oil. And then we'll mix it for around 10 minutes. Then we're gonna add some fibers. If you don't have whatever is available, you can try to get some gluten-free oats. You need 2 tablespoons, and that's it. Then we'll add some milk or water. And now we'll let the yeast do its work again for around 10 to 20 minutes. After around 10 minutes, you can go ahead and check on your dough. Make sure it has the right texture, as you can see on the video. And then we'll cover the dough with some corn flour. This is the twist I was talking about. This is the secret of restaurants, how they make their dough delicious and soft. Try it out. This works amazing. The secret is corn flour. Now, it is very important that you cover the dough with something. Otherwise, it will become affected by the air and then your dough will become crusty. And you don't want that. You want some nice, soft dough. Would you look at that? Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments how it went. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Once everything is ready, you add your salsa or sauce, whatever you want to call it. You add the seasoning, your meat, and maybe some cheese. It can be any cheese that you like, or if you don't like cheese, skip it. It's your own pizza and you're the chef, so you decide whatever you want to add. Now, I can't help but to stress this. As far as the filling goes, you set your own limits. So yeah, go ahead, be creative. So here in a bit, you want to press your filling a bit into the dough, just so it doesn't, slide off or just fall off or anything like that. So just make sure that it sits there a bit tight. Not too tight, you don't want to ruin your dough, but just make sure it sits right. And now you can place your pizza in the oven. Your oven should be preheated at 180 to 200. Let it be there for 10 minutes, but you need to watch over it because you can't just leave it there. Also, place the pizza at the bottom of the oven and not in the middle. Once the 10 minutes have passed, you can put it in the middle for a couple of minutes. For the first 10 minutes, you'll have to cover your pizza with some parchment paper. That's so the cheese doesn't melt and go places, so it just stays on the pizza. Now for the last part, this is if you want to have a light breakfast. You can mix some cheese, whatever cheese is available for you, and some eggs and some seasoning. This will make some light mini pizzas. Now, if you feel fancy, feel free to add some pizza sauce on top of these breakfast pizzas, but it's really up to you. For us, it turned out to be delicious. Now, if you've reached this far into the video, thank you very much for tuning in. If we helped you out, please leave a like, subscribe and comment, and share with your family and friends. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Good luck and bon appetit!